Hello friends. On July 16th, 2026, just days ago, a nonpartisan budget research organization called the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget released a report that every retired couple in America should be reading right now, and almost none of them have seen it. The report calculated something that Congress has been avoiding saying out loud: the exact dollar amount that specific types of retired households stand to lose every single year when the Social Security Trust Fund depletes in the fourth quarter of 2032. Not percentages, not projections, actual dollar amounts by household type. Here is the number that stopped me when I read this report. A typical newly retiring dual-earning couple, a husband and wife who both worked and both paid into Social Security their entire careers, stands to lose $16,900 per year in annual benefits at the start of 2033. $16,900 every year, automatically, if Congress does not act. Before we get into it, subscribe to this channel right now and turn on the bell. Changes like these arrive without personal letters and without reminders. The people subscribed here find out while there is still time to act. Subscribe now and let's get into it. This is not a scare tactic. This is not a political opinion. This is the mathematical output of current law, as confirmed by the Social Security trustees, the Congressional Budget Office, and now independently verified by the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget in their July 16th, 2026 analysis. The law says what? The law says, and the law says, that when the trust fund runs out, benefits get cut automatically by 22%. These are the real dollar consequences of that 22% for your specific household type. Let me go through the numbers by household type because the impact is different depending on your specific situation, and knowing your specific number is the starting point for everything else in this video. Household type 1, the dual-earning couple. Both spouses worked full careers and both paid into Social Security. This is the most common household type among current retirees. Annual loss at insolvency, $16,900. That is $1,408 less every single month, starting the moment insolvency hits. Household type 2, the single-income couple. One spouse worked a full career. The other spouse did not work outside the home or worked very limited years. The lower-earning spouse typically collects a spousal benefit equal to up to 50% of the higher earner's benefit. Annual loss at insolvency, $12,700. That is $1,058 less every month. Household type 3, the low-income dual-earning couple. Both spouses worked but at lower wage levels throughout their careers. Their benefits are smaller, but the percentage cut is the same 22% as everyone else. Annual loss at insolvency, $10,200. That is $850 less every month. And for a household that was already managing on a tight budget, $850 is not a minor adjustment. And household type 4, the high-income dual-earning couple. Both spouses had high-earning careers and maximized their Social Security contributions over 40-plus years. Their benefits are larger, and so is the cut. Annual loss at insolvency, $22,300. That is $1,858 less every single month. Let me put these numbers in perspective because a dollar amount in isolation does not fully capture what these losses mean in real life. For the average dual-earning couple, losing $16,900 per year, that is the equivalent of losing 14 full months of grocery spending, or losing the ability to cover 17 months of average utility costs, or being unable to pay for 4 full months of rent at the national average. Now here is something that the CRFB report specifically highlighted, and it is a detail that changes how you should think about the Medicare side of this equation. At the same time, the CRFB report specifically noted that the Social Security Trust Fund insolvency in 2032 will be followed less than 1 year Later in 2033, by the depletion of Medicare's hospital insurance trust fund. And when Medicare's Part A trust fund depletes, Medicare can only pay 89% of scheduled hospital, skilled nursing, hospice, and home health benefits. The CRFB report called this the Social Security shock to income, immediately followed by a threat to retirees' healthcare access, both arriving within 12 months of each other. For the dual-earning couple already facing $16,900 in Social Security income loss, add the Medicare Part A coverage gap on top of that, and the total financial impact in that 12-month window could exceed $20,000 for a single household. That $20,000 plus combined impact arriving in the same 12-month window for the same household is what the CRFB calls a double whammy. And right now in Washington, there is no active legislation on the floor of either chamber that would prevent either cut from happening automatically. Not a proposal that failed. Not a bill that was voted down. No active legislation at all addressing the 2032 Social Security deadline or the 2033 Medicare deadline. 6 years. No plan on the table. And every day that passes without action, the fixes required become more expensive and more disruptive to implement. The Kiplinger analysis published in April 2026 described this situation using the Greek myth of Icarus, politicians ignoring the flashing red lights and increasingly dire insolvency predictions from the trustees report, and actually hastening the depletion by passing laws that increased benefits without adding new revenue. The longer the issue is ignored, the more drastic the solutions will be when they finally arrive. Now let me tell you what the solutions on the table actually look like, because understanding what Congress might do is as important as understanding what happens if Congress does nothing. Option 1. Benefit reductions. One of the most discussed proposals is the six-figure limit from the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. Under this proposal, couples receiving more than $100,000 per year in combined Social Security benefits would see their payments capped. At that level, for single retirees, the cap would be $50,000 per year. Senator Lindsey Graham publicly endorsed this approach in March 2026. Option 2. New revenue through raising or eliminating the payroll tax cap. In 2026, Social Security taxes are collected only on the first $184,500 of earned income. Every dollar above that is untaxed for Social Security purposes. Several lawmakers argue that lifting this cap, making all earned income subject to Social Security taxes, would generate enough new revenue to extend solvency by decades. Option 3. The Cassidy-Cain Investment Fund Plan. Senators Bill Cassidy and Tim Kaine have proposed borrowing $1.5 trillion and investing it in a government fund. The returns from those investments would be used to help fund Social Security benefits going forward. Supporters call it a self-financing long-term fix. Critics call it borrowing to fund borrowing. Option 4. Raising full retirement age. Again, some proposals would push the full retirement age for younger workers, currently 67, for anyone born in 1960 or later, to 68 or even 69 for workers born after a certain year. This is effectively an indirect benefit cut because it forces workers to wait longer to receive their full benefit, but it does not reduce the benefit of anyone currently receiving payments. None of these options have passed. None are currently moving through Congress. But here is what makes November 2026 the most important election for Social Security recipients in decades. The senators and representatives elected this November will serve until 2032 and 2028 respectively, meaning they will be in office when the 2032 depletion deadline arrives. They will be the ones who either act or allow the automatic cut to happen. Now let me give you the 5 specific actions every retired household needs to take before the end of 2026, based directly on the CRFB's July 16th analysis and what it means for your specific household type. Action Step 1. Identify your household type from the CRFB report and calculate your specific annual loss. Dual earning couple, $16,900 per year. Single income couple, $12,700. Low income couple, $10,200. High income couple up to $22,300. Write your specific number down. That is the annual stake your household has in what Congress does before 2032. Action step 2. Go to ssa.gov/myaccount and find your current monthly benefit estimate at full retirement age. Multiply that monthly amount by 12. That gives you your annual benefit. Now multiply that annual benefit by 0.78. That number, 78% of your current annual benefit, is what you would receive in a post-insolvency world if Congress does not act before Q4 2032. Action step 3. Review your retirement income sources beyond Social Security right now, before January 2027. Pensions, IRAs, 401ks, annuities, investment accounts, part-time income, rental income, every source. Because if Social Security is cut by 22% in 2032, the households that survive that cut most comfortably are the ones with multiple income streams, not the ones who plan their entire retirement around their Social Security check. Action step 4. If you have not yet filed for Social Security and you are between 62 and 69, the 2032 insolvency timeline is now part of your claiming decision whether you want it to be or not. Talk to a Social Security claiming specialist before you file. The interaction between your claiming age, a potential 22% cut, and your other retirement income sources is complex enough that a generic rule, claim early, claim late, does not serve you. Your specific numbers do. Action step 5. Stay informed, specifically about Social Security legislation, not general political news, but specifically any bill or proposal that addresses the trust fund. And note who your senators and representatives are and whether they have publicly stated a position on Social Security reform. Because when November 2026 arrives and you are looking at a ballot, you will be voting for the people who will decide whether $16,900 per year stays in your household or disappears from it. So here is the complete picture from the CRFB's July 16, 2026 report. The one Congress is not talking about. A typical dual earning retired couple stands to lose $16,900 per year, $1,408 per month when Social Security trust fund insolvency hits in Q4 2032. A single income couple faces $12,700 per year. A low income couple faces $10,200. A high income couple faces as much as $22,300 per year, less than 1 year after Social Security insolvency hits in 2032. Medicare's hospital insurance trust fund depletes in 2033, adding an 11% coverage reduction in Part A benefits on top of the Social Security income cut for a dual earning couple already facing $16,900 in annual Social Security losses. The combined 12-month impact from both programs can exceed $20,000. There is no active legislation in Congress currently moving toward a fix. The senators elected in November 2026 will be in office when the 2032 deadline arrives. The 5 action steps are: identify your household type and dollar loss. Calculate your post-insolvency benefit using the 0.78 multiplier. Review all income sources beyond Social Security. Talk to a claiming specialist if you have not yet filed, and know where your elected officials stand on Social Security reform. Before November, the CRFB published this report on July 16, 2026. It is publicly available. It is based on official trustees' data, and the number, $16,900 per year, for a typical retired couple, is sitting in that report waiting for someone to tell the people it affects the most. Now you have that number. Now you know what it means for your household. And now you know what to do with it. Subscribe. Share this with every retired couple you know, and every couple approaching retirement. The number in this report is the number that should be on every news channel, in every newspaper, and in every conversation between a financial advisor and their retired clients. It is not. So share it yourself. And I will see you in the next one.